Hi, everybody. Welcome to the MyFitnessPal video. I'm thrilled to be able to show you how to download and use the MyFitnessPal app in conjunction with the Faster Way program. Okay, so as you know, we are going to be tracking macros in the Faster Way program. This is not a calorie in, calorie out diet that most diets follow. Instead, we want to make sure we are eating the right macronutrients, which is your makeup of your carbohydrates, your fat, and your protein. So we want to make sure the mix of those macronutrients fuels our body for our workouts and will effectively burn fat. So how we're going to do that is we're going to track our food every day using the MyFitnessPal app. So go ahead and go into the App Store if you don't already have it and download the MyFitnessPal app. There is a premium version. I have been using MyFitnessPal for 1.5 years and I am still on the free version. There's really no need to upgrade to the premium version unless you want to have additional information and like that kind of thing, but it's completely unnecessary. You also can use it on your desktop. I personally track all my food on my phone just because it's easy to carry around and go with me. But for purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you the desktop version. And so you can kind of walk through with me what we are doing. All right, so on the homepage of MyFitnessPal, you are going to go to settings, and then you're going to go to update diet and fitness profile. So on the app version, if you're on the app, what you want to do is you want to go to the bottom right corner and hit that more button. And then you are going to hit the goals option. And then what you see here on the goals option is almost identical to what I'm sharing on my screen here on the desktop version. So starting weight today, January 3rd, 2019, I weigh 118 pounds. My starting weight is also my current weight since we're the same today. I am a whopping 5 feet 2 inches, and my goal weight is 113 pounds. Now, your goal weight is not going to be used at all to calculate your macro needs for the day, so don't overthink that one. Just kind of put something in there and keep going. Female, put in your birth date, April 29th, 1982. Okay, now the next one, how do you describe your normal daily activities? This does influence how many macros you get a day, and it is pretty sensitive. So my recommendation is if you are participating in the Faster Way to Fat Loss and you will be doing all of the exercises, the 5 to 6 recommended exercises per week, then go ahead and select active. If you are joining the Faster Way to Fat Loss solely to focus on the nutrition and will not be working out during the week, you don't do workouts on your own or the Faster Way, then go ahead and select the lightly active option. Those are the two I would pick from, unless you have an extreme example of being highly, very active or bedridden. I would kind of not use those. It will really skew the results you get at the end. How many times a week do you plan on exercising? I put in the 5 workouts a week, 45 minutes-ish each. But honestly, this doesn't influence the macro needs either, so don't overthink what you put in there. Calories in the US, and then what is your goal? Okay, so what I recommend doing here is if you are joining with the hopes of losing kind of 10 to 15 pounds, something in that range, put in, and I'm at the 5-pound range, so I put in that 0.5 pounds per week. If maybe you have more weight to lose, you're in the 40 to 60 pound range, then go ahead and then you can be more aggressive and put in that 1 pound per week. But we really do not want to be under eating here. We want to be fueling our bodies in order to effectively burn fat, build lean muscle mass, and fuel our workout. So this is not the time to kind of be a hero and really cut back on what you're eating. You will just end up feeling tired and hungry. So I'd encourage you, like I said, if you have a lot of weight to lose, 40 to 60 pounds, that's when maybe you'll select that lose 1 pound per week. If you're in that 5 to 15, 10 to 15 range, lose 0.5 pound per week. And maybe you're just looking to really stop your sugar cravings and up your nutrition game, but your weight, you're happy with where your weight is. So then you can even put maintain weight. So I would kind of select from one of those 3 options. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit update my profile, and that's gonna go and take me through to my macro goals. One thing that I wanna say is that everybody's macro goals are unique. There's nobody in the program that is the same age, height, weight, from that standpoint, birthday. So what my macro goals are going to be different than your macro goals. So when we day to day post our screenshots, don't compare your eating to somebody else's eating. You want to compare your eating to your individual goals. That's why we're walking through and setting this up individually. All right, so update profile. So here we go. So my goals, it's 1,640 calories per day. But again, I'm not going to be tracking my calories. I'm going to be tracking how those calories are made up. So I'm going to be tracking my carbs, fat, and my protein. So on a regular macro day, my carbs are 205 grams. My fat is 55 grams and my protein is 82 grams. If you're in the app right now, it actually is going to show you the percentages of what that makes up of the total calories. And what those percentages are 50% carbs, 30% fat, and 20% protein. That is what our regular macro day mix will be for everybody. So everybody is going to start with that same 50, 30, 20, but these numbers, the 205, 55, and the 82, that is what is going to be different for everybody going through. So that's kind of what you want to keep in mind when you're looking at what your goals are for the day. All right, so on a regular macro day, you're going to go ahead, you're going to log your food, you're going to log, what you ate when you broke your fast, any snacks you may have had, your dinner. I highly encourage you to, if you eat the same kind of things during the week, set up a recipe. Go to there's, let's see up here, food, then there's going to be a recipe pop up if you're on the desktop. It's one of the more options on the phone. Create that recipe. Go ahead, scan all those barcodes of what went into the recipe you're making, and then it's easy just to pop in. I actually can show you. So if I go to food and recipes, here's all my recipes in my recipe box. So some of them have pictures because you can actually link it to the website. And it will pull the ingredients in for you and you can just review them. Others, you like this one with no picture. It's my healthy mint smoothie on a regular macro day. I even labeled it regular macro, so I know. I just entered the ingredients manually. I'm going to be eating this again today. So when I break my fast, it's as easy as on my phone, logging in, going to my food, searching my recipes, enter my healthy mint smoothie, log it, done. So while it may in the beginning feel very cumbersome to be setting up everything you're eating, to be creating all these recipes, do the work up front. It will pay off throughout the 6 weeks. And by the end, it'll just be like you will be logging your food before you took your second bite of food in the meal and you'll be done. So it'll be pretty easy when it comes down to it for the end. All right. So a couple other notes before we move on. So what the end of the day, your macros will look like. So here's an example. And you can't see this on the desktop. I'm not exactly sure why MyFitnessPal does that, but this is a screenshot from my phone. So this is at the end of every day. We are going to be posting our macro pie chart to our Facebook page. Everybody's individually going to do it. I'll post a daily thread with a reminder of what the goals are for the day and then asking you at the end of each day to post this screenshot. So here you can see it was a regular macro day. My goals were the 50% carbs, 30% fat, 20% protein. And I came in at 49%, 29%, and 22%. So pretty close. And it actually gave me my carb number grams, my fat grams, my protein grams. So I can even look that up and kind of do the math on those numbers to figure out what your overall food intake was for the day to make sure you're staying within those parameters of your totals too. So I can, from this chart, see your mix and your totals. So it's very important that you post this at the end of each day. This is part of the accountability of the program, and it's also how I know you're on track and doing the right things from that standpoint. One thing to talk about is on a low carb day. Now, on a low carb day, we are going to be shooting for 50 net grams of carbs. So obviously, we will not be hitting our goal that day. We are going to keep the protein grams the same. So you will be hitting your goal that day. And your fat will make up the balance. So your pie chart will look something like this. See the difference, how my fat now makes up the bulk of my chart? So before, fat was close to that 30%. Now my fat's almost 70%. So on those 2 low carb days for the ladies, 3 for the men, you want your pie chart to be predominantly fat. Now you can just not change your goals and know that you're looking for a 50 hitting your goal and the balance to be fat. Or sometimes I even go in and I personally like to change my goal numbers, and I change my goal somewhere so that my carbs come out to close to 50, maybe a little bit more because we're going to be doing net carbs, and I keep my protein the same, and then the fat I shift to be the balance. So if you want to go in and update your goals on those low carb days, you can. You just need to make sure you update them again on the macro day. But I just wanted to point out these screenshots for you because this is what we will be posting every day to the MyFitness, to the Facebook group, these screenshots from MyFitnessPal. And so I hope this was helpful for you. I hope everybody now has their MyFitnessPal app up and running. Again, this is all about tracking your food. I understand it's cumbersome for 6 weeks to track your food, but this is where you will get an education on nutrition, and you will get an education and understanding of what you eat. And throughout the 6 weeks, we will tweak what you're eating to really make sure we are hitting those macro goals on each of our days. And you'll also make sure that you are really getting your good go-to gluten-free, dairy-free foods that you like to eat, such that when you're done with the 6-week program, it will be much more intuitive and a lifestyle for you. I also like logging on MyFitnessPal because if I ever feel like, I had a weekend where I ate too much, and, going back to the basics of tracking my food is just something that is kind of helps bring me back in and gets me back on the bandwagon every time. So let me go to stop share. All right, there we go. So anyways, thanks for watching. Again, good luck tracking your food. Don't feel overwhelmed by it. Just start with it, do it, and pretty soon it will become second nature to you. And I'm here to help. So if you have any questions, just post them to our Facebook group and I will be answering them for you and making sure that you guys are set up for success. Thanks.